swinging town, Chicago, Chicago. I'm gonna show you around.
Hi, I'm Gloria, one of the Youth Services librarians at North Riverside Public Library. I'd like to share with you today a recipe I learned from my Italian grandmother. It's called Italian sausage, Sinatra style. More about how it got its name a little later. It's a very simple recipe, and it's really, really good. First, you need the Italian sausage. It used to be that you had to go to an Italian grocery store to buy it, but now you can pretty much buy it all over. I bought 1.5 pounds, and I'm going to cook it all together, but then I'm going to freeze it in smaller portions to have it a little bit at a time. First of all, you cut the sausage into about 2-inch pieces, which are about like this. And then you're going to brown it on the stove. Now, the most important thing about this recipe, I think, is that you do not want to use a stickless pan. You want to use a pan that will stick. So no Teflon coating, no coated pan, a pan that will stick. Because you want to get the pieces off when it browns, that's going to help make your gravy. So what I did, to save some time, I browned it before. And on the stove, and then I'm taking the pieces out, and I have at the bottom a lot of grease and the pieces that have stuck to the bottom of my pan. I drained off the grease. You do not want to have the grease in there, so pour it off. It'll be a lot. There's a lot of fat in Italian sausage. And then I added about 1 cup of wine and about 1/3 cup of water. And I cooked it a little more on the stove, and already it's loosening those pieces that have been stuck to the bottom. Don't worry, you won't be scrubbing your pan all night because it'll be nice and clean when the wine finishes working on it. Then I'm going to put my sausage back in to the pan. And to loosen this up at the bottom, I want to cook it a little more on the stove. Kind of on low for about 15 minutes. In the meantime, I'll tell you a little bit about my grandmother. She came to this country in 1910 through Ellis Island. My father was the youngest in the family. He was learning to walk on the boat, and he had 2 older sisters. They settled in Little Italy on the near west side of Chicago. Frank Sinatra was kind of a legend at that time. He was very big, and he loved Chicago. He considered Chicago his second home. In fact, all through his life, he considered it his second home. He had a lot of connections here. He knew the Italian restaurants on Taylor Street. His favorite was the Rosebud and the Como Inn. The Como Inn is where my family had a lot of celebrations when I was growing up. It's no longer there, and I don't think the Rosebud is there either. But Frank Sinatra came off into this town, and it was rumored that this was his favorite sausage. So let me see how this is. I think it's it seems to be picking up pieces from the bottom. You're going to also probably want to have peppers with it. You can have all green, all red, a mixture, but you'll saute them in a little olive oil, lightly saute them, and we're going to add them to the peppers before it finishes cooking. So when my grandmother came here, she opened a small penny candy store, and in the back of the store there was a neighborhood bar, a few bar stools. And she would serve beer in a goblet like this for a nickel, 5 cents. And along with your beer, you couldn't go to an Italian place without eating, so you had a plate of spaghetti, a nickel beer, and a plate of spaghetti. No meat, no sausage. That was for the family. But you got a nice portion of spaghetti when you went to get your nickel beer. So I think I'm going to take this off now. And you can see it's making a nice, rich juice with it. And the wine is what's going to make it nice and tender. You won't have pieces stuck on your pan. It'll be nice and clear. When we transfer this to the Corningware, I like this because I can put it in the freezer and then put it in the oven. I will scrape what's left on the bottom and add that. Then will have my sauteed peppers. I will put that on top, and I will put it in a 350-degree oven, slow cooked for about 325 for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. You can eat it then, or put it right then in your freezer and have it later. It'll be fully cooked and it'll be fork tender. I think you'll like it. I hope you do. It's easy to do, and it's a very traditional recipe. Enjoy and salute. Put on some Frank Sinatra. Run a disc and see how you like him. He'll never grow old. I think he'll always be around. Enjoy.